Okay, we have quorum and we're ready to go, so we will call our planning commission work session to order at 4:38 p.m. on Wednesday, December 17th, 2025 in the city council conference room. And our main event today is ethics training from Rebecca.
Woo-hoo. Really, it's from legal. I'm just the for this today. Just give me 1 second.
Stop that, but I will get it.
Yeah, that's funny. Let's see what side am I on? Computers and corner. Okay, so I'm gonna level with you. This is also a cold take for me because in all the time I was supposed to be reviewing it, I got sick, and then I was doing catering orders, and then life exploded. So this is gonna be an adventure for us all. But welcome. The ethics training today, from my understanding, it looks like the first few slides are gonna be conflicts of interest. And then there's going to be some kind of basics that we go over. I am not going to be much more helpful than reading over these slides. So we're gonna do this together, but it looks like use of office for personal benefit, like prohibited, so don't do that. Compensation for assistance, so I'm assuming we're gonna go over kind of what's an acceptable limit, where that's not okay, and when it is. Disclosure statements required for interest in business entities, and disclosure statements required for interest in business entities doing with ones that we have regulated by us and then ones that we're doing business with.
Any questions about
Yes.
those conflicts? Now, these conflicts are just prohibited. If you have one of those, you just cannot do it. Okay. Do you want examples of any of those?
The best stories, yes.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Eagle Mountain had a run-in with this, a couple of mayors in a row. A mayor got a below market rate loan from a bank. That's number one. Because you're on the planning commission, you can't get a special benefit. Okay. Or say you're on the planning commission and your neighbor hires you to get an item through the planning. That would be B. You cannot do that. If you own a business,
Basically a bribe.
they hire you. C is you own a business. You have to have a business license in Orem. You just disclose it on the form, and every year we'll give you a form. And just, hey, I own this business in Orem, and it's regulated by Orem, so not a big deal. And if you own an interest in a business, let's say you own an interest in a business that's in Orem, and you don't own it in the sense of you're the owner of the business. You're a silent partner in an entity that does construction in Orem. You should disclose that. And it's not a problem to have those. It's just a problem to not disclose those.
I'm so glad you're here, Gary. Let's see. So for conflict of interest, public servants shall disclose all conflicts. If there's a instance where you're very sure it is a conflict of interest, you have to disqualify yourself from deliberating. So abstaining, or I'm pretty sure that's you'll just abstain, correct? If there's a issue.
Yeah, now this is the universe of conflicts, right? One conflict is 30 years ago, I went to high school with somebody, and we weren't friends, but we went to high school. I kind of know them. That might be a conflict in that people knowing, oh, you went to high school together and you're in the band together. So you probably ought to just acknowledge that and say, oh, yeah, the applicant before us, they're my neighbor, and especially here in this community, oh, I minister to them or something like that. But if you can say, but that's not going to influence my decision to make a fair and impartial decision in this instance, then you can go forward with it. If you do have a conflict, and there are some just absolutely prohibited conflicts the slideshow gets into, what you do is when you disclose the conflict and you feel you can't stay because there is a conflict. Let's say I'm on the planning commission, my wife is a developer and she's doing a project in Orem. And because she's my wife, I stand to benefit from it. And my wife is doing it. I should disclose it. Hey, this is my wife's business. I should then get up and leave the room. Get off the dais, leave the room so that there's no hint that I sat there on the front row glaring at you, daring you to turn my wife down. Does that make sense? So that's what that's talking about.
And then it looks like number 4, in the case where it would be us that have like a conflict of interest, we would report to our supervisors. So it's pretty straightforward to me. Oh, and then I guess these are some examples, correct, that we're looking at here. So when the matter proposal for so yeah, so like it looks like the matter, if you're a planning commission member, very similar to kind of what Gary described, and say you own undeveloped land and you stand to the proposal is for you to have that split up into something that you could profit off of or something that would be in your favor. Looks like that would be a case where you may walk away or abstain, especially when it has the direct financial interest. So you'd be making money off of it, material effect, and let's see, distinguishable from public generally. So yeah, so it looks like because it would how we're saying this, benefit Mr. Smith directly and his private transaction, then he'd have to be uninvolved in that particular instance. Looks like Library Advisory Commission member, Mrs. Davis, is married to TechServe Inc. representative. TechServe sells technology to the libraries. So the matter say they're coming forward and they're trying to have a new policy that prioritizes the vendors who are offering the bundle from TechServe, and which the commission would recommend this bundle to the city council. Obviously, there's the conflict because Mrs. Davis's spouse works for them. There could be long-term contracts. It favors the company that the spouse works for. So obviously there could be some bias there. Foreseeable effect to the commission's recommendation obviously materially affects Mrs. Davis and the spouse. So the financial benefit would go directly to TechServe and not the general public. So it would have an issue there.
Any questions on those scenarios? I think they're pretty understandable. And if you ever have a question about something like that, feel free to call me and we'll walk through it.
Let's see. Ethics Act officers and ethics act.
So this is a state law that applies to all municipal employees and officials. So, and officers, which planning commission members, and this includes you. And so you can't have a personal benefit. That's just prohibited. That's like the Eagle Mountain mayor who was getting a below market rate loan. She was actually prosecuted by the county attorney's office. What? Shocker. Yeah. So that's one. The next one is compensation for assisting in a transaction. We cannot do that. I can't I've got a buddy somewhere who wants to do a project in Orem. I do it. Orem, I represent him at the planning commission. Now I can go to any other community and do it for them, but not here in Orem as an employee. And you couldn't as a board member or commission member. And then this just really goes through what we've already been through in that previous slide. It's kind of redundant. It's just to let you know, this is a state law and a violation of it could theoretically be a Class B misdemeanor. It's not to scare anybody from serving. This is.
Use of office for oh.
Yeah, so this is just to give you some examples. You can probably quickly read those.
So, in the instance that you do not disclose, or if you improperly use private, controlled, or protected information acquired through official duties to further personal economic interests or secure special privileges or exemptions for yourself or others. There's also the instance if you do not use or attempt to use an official position, to substantially further personal economic interest or secure special privileges for yourself or others. 3, if you do not knowingly receive, accept, or solicit any substantial gift or economic benefit that is intended to improperly influence or your public duties or is meant to reward you for official action already taken. And then the prohibition, there we go. Prohibition against accepting substantial gifts or economic benefits excludes occasional non-monetary gifts under $50, public service awards, legitimate ordinary course of business loans, and political campaign contributions.
Somebody wants to give you an award, the American Planning Association for being a great planning commission member, that's okay. You can do that. Somebody, a developer comes in and drops off Christmas time apples for everybody, that's okay. Before this law came into effect, Zions Public Finance gave me tickets to the Jazz Bulls game in the finals. And luckily that was $49.99. The price of the ticket, no, that was before this came into place. So number one, you'll never run into that. Number one, an example of that would be, let's say the city holds a closed meeting for council members to talk about possibly selling or purchasing real estate. And in that, they learn some information and then they go out and hire a real estate agent to pick up some property because they've learned privileged information and that might increase the value of properties in the area.
Well, I just think it's like real estate insider trading. If you know about it because of your position, try to capitalize on that, that's bad.
I remember years ago, there was a guy in Ogden doing economic development and all of these projects that were coming in, kind of hush hush, things like that. He was going out and buying property and different things around it. And when they came and talked to him about it, he said, "Why do you think I have this job?" And learn this type of information.
Yeah, why do you think we built the gondola in Salt Lake?
So any questions about that? And again, you don't have to have any, and this is not true confessions time either,
So I know
except
Garrett.
for Jared.
So I helped Lecanto, the big business there.
In
They
Orem.
had a scam going on and they sent 2 big truckloads out. Somebody scammed him. And he was down here at the, and we'll get a detective on it. It's Friday. We'll get it on a detective on Monday. He goes, it's gonna be too late. So he called me, the president did. I said, well, I'll call BJ. I know, at least I have a connection there. He gave me a gift basket, dropped it off at the city. It was way over $50. So we just gave it to the folks.
Yeah. So something like that would be appropriate. And that's a great example. If somebody came to you and gave you a really big gift basket, just dropped it off at your house, and you're like, run away from this thing. I don't know what to do. bring it to us and we can distribute among employees and there wouldn't be a problem with it. But things like this happen more often than you think, kind of weird little situations.
Burning bags on your parks account.
Only if the bag is over $50.
And then the next, compensation for assistance in transaction involving municipality. So it is an offense for an official to receive or agree to receive compensation for assisting any person or business entity in any transaction involving the municipality unless, one, they file with the mayor a sworn statement. Two, the official makes a disclosure in an open meeting to the members of the municipality. Oh my gosh. I don't know what was in the medicine that they gave me, I'll tell you that. The municipal body of which the officer is a member immediately before the discussion, and for an officer that is an elected officer, where they file the sworn statement with the city recorder. The sworn statement must be filed 10 days prior to any agreement between the officer and the business, or 10 days before the receipt of compensation, whichever is earlier.
You will not remember this. It's a great slide. If anything comes up where somebody's trying to do that, give me a call and I can walk you through the process. But it would be, I would bet my last $1,000, this will never happen for any of our planning commission members. Council member might be a different matter.
I should just put the bottom, call Gary.
This is great. We're all call Gary.
Every slide.
No, you really should. You have to do this training. It's required. But the bottom line is please don't stress out about it. We'll take care of you. We'll watch out for you. And if there's a question or hesitation, call me. And the vast majority of the time, it's not a big deal or an issue.
So again, these are just kind of instructions on how to disclose, when to disclose. So if you are somebody who has a business that is in Orem, there will be the mandatory disclosure. So officers, employees must disclose any substantial interest in a business entity that is regulated by the municipality. So when to disclose, right when you're starting at your position, or if the value of interest significantly changes. So how to disclose, you just file the sworn statement with the mayor and the city recorder, or the elected officials. Public access disclosure is reported to the governing body and posted on the city's website. Exception, disclosure is not required if the value of the interest does not exceed $5,000.
Do we have disclosure forms for them tonight?
I do not.
Okay. Here coming up in the spring, every year we'll do disclosure forms. It's a routine, normal thing. You just come in and say what board or commission you're on. It's not a big deal.
We could probably do that as part of January with all the reappointments and
Yeah.
election,
Because
depending.
we'll need to do this again.
And then also similar thing, disclosure statements for if you own a business that's doing business with the city instead of just operating in it. You'll have to publicly disclose interest in any entity that is or anticipates doing business with us as the city. Similar thing, disclose before, immediately before discussion by the municipal body concerning the business activity. How to disclose, you'll make a public verbal disclosure, which must be recorded in our minutes. For elected officers, same thing, a sworn statement, very similar to the previous one. You'll have to file a sworn statement. Key action, the disclosure ensures the transparency, and it'll be posted to the city website. And then, of course, it'll be recorded into the minutes as part of the record.
So bottom line with this, you do your annual disclosure, not a big deal. Then if anything in particular coming up in a meeting for which you've already done your disclosure, you just make disclosure in the meeting. And if it's a conflict, then you recuse yourself and
And then here's the very big scary penalties for ethics violations. So, oh wow, they could be second degree felony if it exceeds 1,000, third degree if it's anywhere 250 to 1,000, class A misdemeanor for 101 to 250, class B for 100 or less. And then it could obviously also result in dismissal from your position, essentially. Okay, and I think, hallelujah, this is the last slide. So if you have any questions, it says to call the attorney's office, but also Gary. So
call me first.
Gary.
We'll figure out. The only time we'd really need to call the attorney's office is if you don't call me first and there's an issue.
And that is all I have. So I do, but I don't know if that's right now or.
I think it's right now. 'Cause
Okay. I have something that's cooler than this.
I'm gonna
Let me go
I'll
get
get
it.
it.
You wanna go get him?
Well, maybe I should, both of us should. I don't know how many, how large.
They're just right around the corner.
Oh, are they in here?
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure.
We have a gift for all of you because we're really grateful for all your service and guess what?
It's a test just from the ethics.
Yeah.
It's a Christmas gift for all of you, or I should say holiday gift, sorry.
Holiday, yeah.
Holiday
It's a
gift.
Christmas gift.
They're worth $49.99.
Exactly, actually, yes.
They could be worth much more because we're on the Orem planning commission. For Orem City.
First banking.
And you're not coming before us for business.
And we're not coming for you for business.
Oh, thank you.
Love that.
Reading.
But. Yeah.
Dave?
Did you go one more?
Yeah.
Got it. I wasn't sure about that.
And then
So
Yeah.
we equally want to say thank you and express our appreciation. Especially today, if we're going to miss you, we appreciate all you've done to support us and
Thanks.
both collectively and individually on the planning commission.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys wanted to serve. Accepted the invitation.
Oh, thank you. This is unusual.
Yes, it is.
Planning commission to do that
Thank you
because
so much.
Yeah,
Very
thank you.
so much to serve and
Oh,
appreciate everything you do. You know, what we have to do as a city can't get done without your participation and help. And, you know, as an employee,
so,
I'm not doing it because I'm just a great natured person. I get paid to be here. So it's that's a shocker today. You know, but people like Dave and the rest of you here, you know, all the hours I know you have put in, Mike, Madeline, you know, you guys have just done so much for that. We thank you. And then to give us something is just extraordinary. Thank you very much.
you greatly appreciate everything you do for us, despite it being your job.
We do, we
You know,
I'm just, planning commission going over the master plan. Huge, huge.
We do. We really appreciate the effort and the time you guys take and Grant. We've appreciated all the work you've done with us.
hey, you should express to everyone what's going on with you.
I'm gonna let Jared do it. So this is my last planning commission with Orem City. I will be moving on to Taylorsville City as a senior planner. So my last day is next week. It's been a pleasure to get to know all of you all and work with each of you on recently our general plan and all the other efforts we've worked on together. So
cool. I wish you the best. This is a great year for you.
Where do you live?
To me.
Where do you live?
I live in Salt Lake, so
Okay, so,
yeah,
Shorter commute.
yeah, a little bit.
the commute's been wearing on me, and so it was a offer that I couldn't refuse that when that came up, so. But I really enjoyed my time here, so.
Like a daily drive on I-15 wasn't a period of relaxation and rejuvenation.
Oh, Rod? No. The answer for him. And his commute to come be here with us and to help us with everything that we're doing is a little bit longer than yours and mine. I could be here to work in literally 5 minutes if the lights are all right in the morning. And so we appreciate Grant and everything that he's done and coming in. And while we're sad to see him go, I think, this makes sense for him and his family, and that's what's most important. In his family city, Orem, we understand that.
Well, thank you. And once again, we appreciate it. We appreciate all of you. So, okay, we will adjourn until our regular meeting at 5:30. Okay. Then we'll go ahead and call our planning commission meeting to order at 5:31 PM on Wednesday, December 17th in the city council chambers here in Orem. And we will begin by somebody. Would anyone be willing to give the invocation? Mike will give the invocation.
Our Father in heaven, we thank you for the opportunity to gather here as a planning commission. We ask thy spirit dwell within this building, that we do right by the people of this city. We thank you for the blessing of living here and all the many benefits that it has provided all of us. We thank you for your providence in our nation and in our homes. We say these things humbly in the name of thy son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you. Okay, we will begin with item 3, which is our consent agenda items, which consists of item 3.1, which is approval of minutes from November 3rd, 2025 Planning Commission meeting.
And I apologize. Did we explain? I don't know if we got a chance to explain this in the
No.
pre-meeting. So they are the December 3rd minutes that need to be approved, but we had a typo on the agenda.
Just read it.
So we put the right minutes in the packet and everything, but we agendized it as November 3rd. We'll have to ask you to wait till next time and we'll,
Okay, we will not be doing any consent agenda items at this time. And
sorry about that.
that's fine. Thank you for clarifying. And we will be moving on to item 4.1, which is a plat amendment, Cove Estates Plat J, located at approximately 1030 North, 1510 East, combining 2 lots into 1.
Okay. So thank you. This is Cove Estates Plat J. This plat amendment, as you said, combines these 2 lots into 1. I want to just go through, we've used 1030 North, 1510 East as the address for the project. That's this property here. They are both located.
Hey, Jared.
Yeah,
Can you move the mic a little bit closer? I think it needs to be closer.
sure. Usually I'm too loud.
There you go.
I'm used to being too loud. Thank you. Thanks, Rod. So both of these properties are located in the R12 zone, 1030 North and 1006 North. R12 zoning. These are just photographs. This is the house at 1006 North, 1520 on the bottom side, that bottom side cul-de-sac, and the top side cul-de-sac, 1030 North, right there. In the plan, the reason for this amendment, this requested plat amendment, is to remove this house and use it as additional pool, and I think there's a pickleball court and pool that they want to put in the backyard of this larger home. That's the reason for the request for the amendment. There are a couple of conditions that, if this is approved, to amend this plat, make plat J, and combine these 2 lots, one of the conditions that we would ask you to include in your approval would be that we need a bond for the removal of that home. If the 2 lots are going to be combined, that second home needs to be removed. We can't, in zoning, have 2 lots on a single, or 2 houses on a single lot. So it has to be removed. And because of the ordinance requires, when there are double frontage lots, that there be a purpose, or that at the very least, those double frontage lots are cared for, that the landscaping is enhanced and made more beautiful, that there's a reason for it to happen. We would ask that another condition be imposed, that low maintenance landscaping be installed on this part of this cul-de-sac, so that it's not, people don't do a great job of taking care of things on the other sides of double frontage lots when there's large fences. And also that fencing would be bonded for, the side obscuring fencing as far as we can do it, to where it's not a violation of yard space. So low maintenance landscaping, fencing, and the removal of that house would be conditions that we think would be important if this is approved. Does that make sense? Do you have any questions about that? So that it's all listed kind of there. The 6-foot fence would be appropriate as long as we meet the requirements for visibility. And then again, the installation of that low maintenance landscaping and the removal of the home as a bond. With that, I don't know if you have any questions about this plat amendment. Anybody?
Well, they're not adjusting any of the easements, are they?
The easement right here does get, this is Becca's project, so I apologize, but I believe the easement will be removed in the final plat. Will be vacated. Is that right or wrong?
So,
Grace?
yes, can you hear me? Okay, so that was quite a thing for them to deal with vacating those easements. There is a Comcast easement that will not be vacated fully, and that's all been taken care of, but all the other easements in between those 2 pieces of property at present will be vacated.
So because of Comcast, the easement will stay, but the other utilities are not using it.
That's right. It will just basically show that it's a Comcast easement.
Thank you.
Any further questions for staff? Okay, with the motion and the conditions, do we need to read the conditions or do we just?
No, I think that referencing the conditions from the staff report is sufficient. It's all part of the
Okay.
record.
Being clear, because this is a new thing, so. Okay. Do you want to make a motion on this?
Sure.
item?
I move that the Orem City Planning Commission approve the Cove Estates Plan J amendment located generally at 1030 North, 1510 East in the R12 zone, subject to the conditions outlined in the staff report.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, Mike moved, Rod seconded that we approve the Cove Estates Plat J amendment. Okay, Rod, voting,
What's that?
vote.
Oh, I left my hearing aids on.
Sorry.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, item 4.1 is approved. Yeah, can we get our mics just a bit, I'm even having a hard time hearing, so. And I'm the
all
youngest
better.
person here. I'm teasing. Okay. We'll move on to item 4.2, preliminary plat, rolling sand plat A, located at approximately 1765 South Sand Hill Road. It's a creation of a flag lot or a deep lot per our code.
This is a, as you said, this is a subdivision. This lot here is involved as well. There's a jog that gets done in the property line here. So this property is involved, but the lot that gets created, the deep lot that gets created is back here to the rear of that home at 1765 South. As you said, it's a deep lot, so there are some special rules that apply. We'll just briefly go over those real quickly. Both properties that are currently involved in the new lot will all be located in the R8 zone. That's just a listing of the deep lot standards, just as a reminder. Deep lots need to be 125% of the minimum lot size for the zone. It more than meets that at almost 14,000 square feet. The existing lot, lot one, what's left for the existing home, is plenty large, and there's almost no change in the size of lot 3, a small change there. Plenty large for that R8 zoning as well. The deep lot that has been planned meets the standards for the width of the access, et cetera, as well. No part of it's closer than 80 feet to that intersection out here, like it's not supposed to be. The private drive does need to be concrete or asphalt. That's all contained in the ordinance as well. And it shouldn't serve more than 4 lots. It does not. One thing that we don't often point out that we thought we ought to start making, not making a big deal out of, but making more clear is that on a deep lot that's less than 15,000 square feet, the homes are not allowed to be more than 1 story above grade. That's to keep there from being a large impact on deep lots. So that's something to note. Only single family homes are allowed. So a new home would be built on this property. This is the preliminary plat that you're looking at tonight for approval. Preliminary plats need to show the building envelope. They've done that for us, shown the 15-foot setbacks that are required from the boundaries of the subdivision, because this is the outer boundary of the subdivision, and then the 225-foot setbacks, the way they would be used. And then just to note, in this situation as well, because of that, because there are 2 things that won't end up on the plat as clearly visible to people as otherwise. And those 2 things are that 1 story above grade that I've underlined there. And then again, that curbing is required when we do those 26-foot accesses or 20-foot accesses. They have to be paved, but they're supposed to be curbed as well. And that kind of thing doesn't show up easily on a plat. You can see the easement. It has to be an easement for access and for utilities, but there's supposed to be curbing there as well. So we are asking you to, if this is approved as a subdivision, as a preliminary subdivision, to include the conditions outlined in the staff report, which were that it would include the curbing that needs to be put in, and that the house that gets put on that back lot won't be more than 1 story above grade. That helps us to enforce that when it comes through for a permit.
Thank you. Any questions for staff?
Can you bring up the location map again?
The
Back.
aerial?
Yeah. Okay.
Pondering.
Yes, I
Okay. Give you a second.
very concerned about this area.
Yeah, I know you are. Is this going to end up a situation where there's going to be two driveways coming off the one lot? Or are they
No.
going to maintain the same driveway, just extend it?
It'll be a
Shared
shared
lot.
driveway here. So this lot won't have actual physical property out. This will be an access easement for it over the existing driveway. But yeah. So it'll stay one driveway out. And because this one, I think it talked about the driveway situation in the staff report. There is, I'll go back to that aerial. There is a small like pad driveway here. And this driveway, this will be the only driveway up on this lot to reach the back. And then the driveway for this house is actually down on 1800. So you won't see any change in driveways coming out onto Sand Hill itself.
Any other questions regarding this?
Remind me what this area is already zoned for.
This is all single family zoning, R8.
All right.
Yep,
Okay.
8,000 square feet. These are all considerably larger than the 8,000 square feet, but that is the zoning.
Yeah, I just wanted to confirm.
On that side of the street though.
Yeah, the other,
Because the other side, it's a
yeah,
lot
Yeah.
more high density and commercial and
this is a small PRD and there's some other zoning mixed in around there too, but all over here it's all solid
and
R.
just north of there is lots of PRDs and
Yeah. It's a very mixed bag area, right?
yeah. It's very chaotic area.
Are you good otherwise? I mean, like, to move forward?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean,
Wasn't sure if you had any questions. or-
I have concerns about the traffic on Sand Hill in and of itself.
Yes.
The removal of Wilkerson Farms is just going to exacerbate that even more. I mean, I'd say the road's already at a critical situation anyway.
Okay. Do I have a motion on this item? I do hear you, like, and agree with the traffic problems on Sand Hill.
I move that the Orem City Planning Commission approve the rolling sand preliminary subdivision, excuse me, for the property located generally at 1765 South Sand Hill Road in the R8 zone, subject to the conditions outlined in the staff report.
Okay, do I have a second?
I second it.
Okay, Rod moved and Jerry seconded that we approve this motion. Mike?
Nay.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Okay, so we have 3-4-1 again. Since this is administrative and we're just at quorum, does that still count as passing or do we have to have 4 for administrative? I've been pondering this question for the last 5 minutes. Should have asked it 5 minutes ago.
I've pulled up the code.
Yeah, oh,
Me.
hey, sorry.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah,
The code says the minimum number of votes required to approve or disapprove any action or proposal shall be a majority of those present at the meeting, provided there is a quorum,
Okay.
but shall never be less than 4.
yeah, we've had this issue on several things. So if it's 3-1, 4, which half of it? Or are we just saying no?
So the way I read that code is that it wouldn't be approved. It wouldn't pass.
Okay,
I don't know if maybe a motion to continue to another night when there's a larger
Okay.
number of members present might be an appropriate way to handle it at this point.
Jared?
Motion to continue language is there, so.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, because we've technically already voted on it. So what did you say, Jared? Sorry, I had people
just-
talking to me.
Just that the motion to continue language is there if you want to continue.
Yeah.
One thing you can do, we're still in the meeting with this
Yeah.
item you have voted. You
reopen.
can, someone who's been in the majority of the vote can make a motion to reconsider.
Okay, well, we'll do it that way.
I move that we reconsider the vote just taken.
Okay, do I have a second?
I second it.
Yep.
I second it.
Okay, Rod moved and Jerry seconded that we reconsider this motion. Going to vote. Mike?
Nay.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Okay, So
So it technically fails.
technically fails.
Well, it doesn't necessarily fail. It is not approved.
It's not approved. Okay.
And we'll work with the applicant and see if they want to, they can come back and try a different motion. We'll work with the applicant. But right now, it hasn't been continued and it has not been approved.
Okay. That's where we're at. Thank you. Okay, oh, sorry, did somebody else want to say something?
Nope.
Okay, thought I heard something, sorry. Item 4.3, this is an affordable senior housing site plan, or an ASH, for Orchard Grove located at approximately 575 West, 1700 North. It's an affordable senior housing fourplex.
Thank you. So that's all correct, and that moves me to my next slide. Actually, you did it great. So 575 West is this existing single-family home here. It is in the R8 zone, adjacent to a lot of C2 zoning, and some other R8 zoning as well. The property is again being submitted for a site plan request for an ASH overlay housing project. Just to give a little bit of reminder what that means, the ASH is allowed as an overlay in any residential zone, in any of our R zones. And then what happens is if it's approved for its site plan and goes forward as a project, then we adjust the map to include that property in the ASH overlay. That's how it kind of functions. The fourplexes that are allowed, or duplexes or triplexes in the ASH overlay, are permitted uses, but they do require the site plan approvals. They have age and income requirements. You have to be 60 years old. They have to be folks that make 80% or less of the median income for the Provo-Orem area. All the units have to be in one ownership. They can't be condominiumized. In other words, you can't have 4 different people owning 4 different units. The lot size has to meet the minimum standards of the zone that it's in, which it does, but it can never be larger than a half an acre. It meets those qualifications in this case. And as I said, it does require a site plan. We can come back to this page in just a moment. I just want to go over a couple of really quick development standards. So as I said, the ASH is designed for 2 or 4 units. And again, never more than a half an acre. And a couple of other things that happens, they're always attached units. Never less than 500 square feet, never more than 900 square feet for a unit. No more than 2 bedrooms, 1 floor above grade. They're no basements. These are supposed to be small, simple units, and they're not supposed to be large complexes of them. Just a fourplex here and a fourplex there, scattered throughout areas of the city, to keep the impacts of it to a minimum. Setbacks at 20 feet for the front and rear, 10 for the sides. This project site plan does meet all of these standards, just so we're running through them that way. It's always supposed to be new construction. We don't do conversions of homes in the ASH overlay. There are landscaping plans required. Those were attached to your staff report packets. Lighting plans as well to make sure that they're safe and taken care of. That's attached in your staff report packet as well. 1.5 space minimum parking spaces with at least 1 covered. They've done 6 parking spaces here with 4 spaces covered. There's fencing required to screen any of the parking from adjacent properties. They've done that as well. Finished materials are supposed to be brick, stone, and fiber cement board or vinyl. This is fiber cement board and a lot of brick work on it. We'll show the elevations here in a moment. Another odd requirement is that the doors can't face, to keep it from looking like a duplex, I suppose, the doors are supposed to face different elevations. So you only see 1 door per elevation. And you'll see that on the next slide as well. And we don't allow accessory apartments in ASH overlay units, just as something to note. This is the look of the unit. So again, you only see 1 door per elevation for each of the different 4 units. That's the home that's on the property currently that will be removed to make room for the fourplex. So again, in terms of scale, you won't see a lot of difference on this property. It'll look pretty much like another home on the property, but it's got a lot of parking and things like that. You have any questions about the site plan here or the requirements in the ASH overlay?
The property, is there ever a way to convert it from the 60 plus?
No, they have to report. That's a great question, Mike. Thanks. They have to report annually that the people that are utilizing the property are still meeting those requirements. So every year that they want to do that, that's the requirement. It can't be converted otherwise.
So they can't just suddenly start renting it to
No, they'd have to do,
students or whatever.
I suppose if they wanted to leave the overlay and turn it back into a single family home, but as soon as the overlay is gone, the overlay
Right.
requires 60 plus and median income requirements. If they wanted to leave that, they'd be stuck with the R8 zone, which only allows single family occupancy. And the building's not built for that. So they'd have to do conversion work and stuff too. So.
Okay, so they would be bound to turn it into a single family home if they wanted to do anything else.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that was my big question.
Yeah, it's a good question. Any others?
Same. Okay.
Can you go back to the
Yeah.
first map? I just wanted to,
This one?
no, the next one. How close to the sidewalk? I was just curious how close the side.
Out here?
I mean, it's the front / side. Go to the next slide. So we got like 25 feet.
About 25 feet, yeah.
Okay. I was just curious. So not much of a question. I just was curious.
That's a good question.
No worries. Okay. Then if there are no further questions, do we want to go to motion?
Yep.
Do I have a motion?
I move that the Orem City Planning Commission approve the Orchard Grove Ash site plan for the property located generally at 575 West, 1700 North in the R8 zone.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, Mike moved and Rod seconded that we approve the Orchard Grove Ash site plan. Okay, Mike?
Aye.
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 Okay, the motion passes. So we have item 4.3 is passed. That is the end of our business. Anything from anyone else? Gary?
Just on behalf of the mayor and council and the administrative staff, wanted to thank you for your service on the planning commission and everything that you've done for us. We appreciate the time and effort you take to work with us in these meetings, and we couldn't move the work forward without you. So thank you. And also recognize Dave. I think he's taken off. But this will be the last meeting we have with the council representative, Dave Spencer, at this time. In the new year, the council will be determining assignments and making those. And when we know who the new council rep will be, we'll let you know and we'll welcome them. And I'd like to ask that lady with the baby if she'd come forward, please, so that you all can look at Becca's baby. I don't know, have you seen
We've seen her. She's
Becca's baby?
she's asleep.
Is she awake? Oh, good. See, look at that.
Yeah. One syllable. That's all we say, yay or nay, so.
Yeah, I didn't know if you'd had a chance to
Yeah.
meet Becca's baby yet,
She's
so
adorable.
thanks, Becca. Sorry.
Yeah, no, and we also want to express our appreciation to David Spencer and the time and effort that he's put in to represent us and to support the planning commission in our efforts
Absolutely.
and our city staff. We also appreciate them greatly.
Did, I have one other, did Grant mention anything to all of you in the pre-meeting? And I apologize for having to run out.
No worries, yeah,
Great. I was just
covered
going to
that.
embarrass him if he had, but we'll miss him.
we'll save him.
Yes, we thank you, Grant, for your service.
So, okay, if there's no additional business, can I have a motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
Okay. Rod moved and Mike seconded that we adjourn. Mike, no, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at Rod and saying,
It's okay.
Rod,
Aye.
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 Okay, our meeting's adjourned at 5:56 PM.
So
Thank you.
have one person vote